Okay, so I've mentioned in previous videos some of the things I have to do while I'm down here and I got this floor open. And so one of those things was to put some strapping around the drain pipes for the toilet and for the shower. There is the toilet strapping. And there's the shower. And so what I've done is also make sure I have a slope in each one of those pipes that goes back to the main line. And it's 1/4 inch per foot, as I mentioned in a previous video from what I've read. So I got a slope in this pipe here that goes over there, and a slope in the pipe for the toilet also. The other thing I've done is I decided to go ahead and put the blocking in, and I did one full row of blocking here, and it's full height, so it's a full like 5.5 inches. One thing about that, from what I've read online, is that when you put the blocking in, you're not supposed to stagger it in any way. So in other words, if you put a blocking piece here, and then this next section over, you should also have the blocking piece right in the same plane or same row. You don't want to have this blocking piece up here somewhere, just because that's the way it's supposed to be done apparently. And I guess it has to do with transferring energy in the floor, and that you want that to be consistent and not, you know, I'm not really sure exactly how to explain that, but that's what I read online. That's the way it's supposed to be done. So that's finished. And the next thing I'm working on right now is actually running the electrical down here. So this electrical here is for the floor heat that's going to go in underneath the tile. And as you notice there, I got it bundled. So I have an extra bundle of about 10 feet down here just in case I run into some sort of issue where I have to rewire something or move something. So that's there. There's some extra wire on the floor here. That's going to go up through the floor, or on the crawl space floor. That's going to go up through the floor for the bathroom and up to the thermostat. So I've got an extra 10 feet just in case I make a mistake. I should only need about 5 to 6 feet of wire when it's all said and done to wire it up to the thermostat, but I've got a little bit extra just in case. And then if you look back there, I've got the wiring running underneath the beam. So I think there's 3 or 4 beams underneath there, and I've got the wiring running underneath the beam instead of through or over the beam, because there are blocking pieces above the beam, so I couldn't run it above the beam. I didn't want to drill any holes down here, so I just decided to run it that way. And I've got a little bit of slack everywhere. I read that's another thing you're supposed to do is put a little bit of slack when you're in your wiring, when you're running it, and when you're stapling it up. To staple it up, I didn't use the regular staples that some people use. I use these staples that have plastic clips in the middle, and that's so that I wouldn't, because I'm a novice at this, I didn't want to bang too hard on the staples and have them pierce the wiring. So I decided to use these things that have plastic clips in the middle, and that worked really well. It keeps the wiring nice and snug, but at the same time allows it to have a little bit of movement and a little bit of slack in it. And so that's that. And then right here, you notice where I started to turn, where the wiring is turning and coming this way. That's what I nailed that a little bit differently. I nailed the clip up a little differently so that it would actually accommodate that turn there. So that's it on this side. I'm going to go on the other side and show you exactly where the wiring is coming into the garage, or coming in from the garage into the crawl space. See you in a bit. Okay, so there's the wire that's coming in from the garage into the crawl space. I've got 2 wires fed in through there. That's about a 3/4 of an inch hole that I drilled previously, as you remember in a previous video. So I've got 2 wires that I've got the first staples right up there. Then it travels this way. A little bit of slack along the way. Cuts underneath the floor joist there. And this first wire, this is the 14 gauge wire that's for the thermostat. That starts to travel over this way, as you see there. Cuts underneath the beam, continues over until it gets to the bathroom. The 12 gauge wire for the outlets in the outlet in the bathroom and the bathroom upstairs, that one cuts over on the next floor joist over. Starts to cut over and run that way back towards the bathroom. So that's pretty much it. Not much else to talk about here. Hopefully, and this really took me, I'd say it took me, once I got the hang of it, how to do this and how to do it intelligently, I think it took me probably about maybe an hour to nail all this up, hour and a half. So that's it. Thanks for watching.